Hello everybody and welcome. This is my favorite topic, the sales kickoff. And to get us in the mood, you're just listening to the song Cake. So that is Going the Distance. It's a band, a rock star band from California. And this is actually the song that we played to kick off our sales kickoff last year. So today I'm going to speak to you about turning your SKO into an immersive learning environment. But before I do that, just so you get a little bit of orientation of where I'm coming from, so I'm working at Siemens AG. This is a 300,000 company strong with a very, very important mission. From the 300,000, we have many different businesses within Siemens, and the business that I'm working for is Grid Software. Grid Software, like a startup within Siemens, we have 2,400 people, and we're working to move from an ecosystem to an ecosystem. So sustainability, net zero challenges is one of the biggest challenges we're facing today. So the energy transition. As you can imagine, we're having a lot of renewable energies entering the system. They're intermittent. The wind is blowing from time to time. The sun is shining. And we have this software to manage all that. And what does that mean for me as an enabler? I have a pretty software-savvy sales organization. Because we're selling software, it makes it easier for me to roll out digital tools. And it makes it easier for me to ensure the adoption of such digital tools. And digital tools play an important role in the enablement of sales. Also for our sales kickoff, which I'll mention later. About myself, you can of course go onto LinkedIn, you can read all about it, so I'll take a different angle here. I'm from California. I was living most of my life in Sonoma County. This is about an hour north of San Francisco and the Silicon Valley, so the technological hub. And I lived abroad in Spain, and I also have lived in Germany now for the past 15 years. And I have a wife and 2 children, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, so compared to the other colleague, my eyes are maybe halfway, shut, so I'm getting more sleep now than before. So learning objectives, we're going to be talking about how to make this an immersive learning environment, so the SKO, of course. I'm also going to be talking about the roles of the SMEs, so the subject matter expert, because they play a very essential role in making the success of such an event. I'm also going to go into the aspects of the digital tooling landscape, so the LMS, so the learning management system, and also a small use case about our sales enablement automation platform, which was also crucial to make this a success. Now, if we just take a step back where we were about a year ago, I think we were all quite in a scary situation. Coronavirus, a lot of us were working from home. We either could not go into the office or we were basically forced to stay at home. So we decided to pull off a virtual sales kickoff. Now, normally we'd meet on site, but last year it was a virtual sales kickoff. What does that mean? That me and the executive team, we went to an on-site location in Munich. So we're in a virtual studio to get some energy involved into this streaming. We wanted to be there live. So wearing masks, of course, on the sideline, and then entering the stage, we could take off our masks. But I think a lot of this stuff we're going to be talking about today could also be applied in the on-site event. And now I'm in the middle of planning our next sales kickoff already, which is going to be on-site. And it'll be in a more warmer country, somewhere in Southern Europe. I won't tell you because I don't want to be competing with everybody for location, which is very difficult right now. So what do we see as a sales kickoff? There's a lot of different topics. We have technology, so technology change is happening within our organization, the digital tools that we're rolling out to the sales. Of course, there's technological changes happening outside that the sales are dealing with. As I mentioned, in the energy efficiency realm, we're selling new software. We're constantly creating what we call fireworks of innovations in our portfolio. So this disruption that's going on inside our company, but as well outside in the market. It's about planning. So if you had a successful last year, then you continue doing what you did before. You plan ahead. If you were not so successful and you cannot revel in your success, you may choose to reflect and hit the ground running the next fiscal year with as much intensity as you would have if you were on a clean slate. So it's about motivating the entire sales organization, whether you were successful last year or successful looking forward. And of course, we have some entertainment there, so making it a fun event. We had a motivational speaker. We had Sonja Piontek, so she's a National Geographic speaker, and she also created the Phoenix mindset. So she came in and she pumped up the team. And finally, it of course is about immersion. So we want to bring our sales together. We want them to learn something new which they can apply in the next fiscal year to be successful and hit their numbers. We had very high expectations of our sales team. So we've had it in the past where you invite the sales organization to a meeting and it's like you could drop a pin and you could hear it. You know, you're actually surprised sales, you think they're outgoing, very communicative, but many times we had in the past where the people were very shy and they wouldn't seem to be getting involved, getting this engagement. So we set the expectations very high for this event. We clearly said that we had expectations that they were going to come to this event and they were going to learn something which they could apply moving forward. So we say you get what you expect. We expected 100% follow through on what we were going to be providing them, and that's what we got. So again, you get what you expect. You expect 100% and you really have the plan in place to get there. You're going to get there. If you don't have that high expectation, you may land up anywhere. So this is the high overview of our plan. Again, it was about preparing the sales for the next year. Enabling them, so sales product updates, again, the fireworks of innovations that are happening in our portfolio. Product launches, so we have constant new updates, product launches that we want to get them informed about. Selling skills and tools, of course, so continually wanting to upgrade their knowledge. And we split it over 3 days. Day one was the plenary session. We talked about the goals of the event. The product launches, of course, getting the people excited, pumped up about all the different products that we're bringing out to our customers. Strategy, high-level strategy, what we'd like to accomplish for the next fiscal year, but also going a level deeper, so going to the operationalizing level. So how does it really hit the sales team? How are they going to operationalize this strategy that we put in place? And then, of course, it's about motivating them. I said we had the motivational speaker, and you know, a sales kickoff without awards, it doesn't exist, so you have to recognize the colleagues who perform, the teams that perform, so we had a nice awards ceremony. Moving...
Sorry, not 4 consecutive days, but there's like 3 weeks after the first 2?
Exactly, so day two, you have your recap day of day one. You go into the product view, so you're looking at all the different products. We have a 5 portfolio line product portfolio. Grid simulation, grid edge, meter data management. So you're focusing a lot on the portfolio. Day two, it's another 4, 5, 6 hours. And then you end that day with the sales plan. So everybody needs to start, they have to have their plan in place, and that's where the immersion begins. That's where we said, over the next 3 weeks, you're all expected to follow through on the trainings that have been assigned to you. So we have a very split matrix organization of sales colleagues. So we planned it all out, which sales colleagues needed to take which training to make it very, relevant for them. And then they had 3 weeks to participate in such training courses on demand. So we didn't want to do all the training, online. People, I think, were exhausted at that time of sitting behind a computer. I think as all of us are. I see people nodding their heads. We're all excited to get back in person. So we wanted to take that training offline and make the event upbeat, moving through the different topics. 3 weeks to do all that training, 100% club again, that was the goal. And on the third week, that's where we brought the people together and we looked at the results. Did we reach 100%? No. We did not reach 100%, to be honest with you. I don't want to come up here and tell a lie. We didn't reach it after 3 weeks, but we reached it after possibly 5 or 6 weeks. So we didn't give up. We made sure also that the sales organization understood if we say that you're going to follow through on these trainings, that they were going to follow through and do the training. They couldn't do it in the first 3 weeks. They were on vacation. They had really important customer meetings. Also okay. The 100% club also included a video pitch. So we're moving from portfolio-focused sales to sales that should go to the customer and start at the very highest level, presenting our entire broad portfolio, and they were expected to pitch that in video and make it available. And then we chose the best videos and we promoted them internally, get people excited, so got the whole team pumped up about that. And we had a playbook. So putting their playbook for the year, clearly describing what they were going to accomplish, different accounts that they're going to be focusing on, the engagement material, the sales material that they're going to be presenting those accounts, so they had to put together their playbook. Here again, just to put that focus on 100%, and we clearly communicated at the event, end of day 2, 100% was the focus that we were going for, and we really pushed for that. So here to all of you, I would say be bold, put your vision together of how you see your SKO and share it with your team. I'm sure that you would all be able to get the resources that you need, and you'll definitely need resources if you're planning an SKO, so make sure you get the proper resources to make that a success. And again, share it with your team, get people excited, and all that you can accomplish with a sales kickoff. Now my first poll, I'd be interested also, learning from you, getting some, feedback. With a show of hands here, on site for your next SKO, put your hands up, hands down if it's 100% virtual, and hybrid if your hands are crossed. So what are you guys all doing for your next sales kickoff? So, okay, I see quite a mix here. On site, I didn't see that many virtual, but yeah, it looks like a pretty mixed bag. And I think that's also the risk right now, the challenge. We're going full-blown 100% on site. In October, how are the numbers going to be at that time? It's a risk, but be bold, and we're going to go for it. So now I want to look at the SMEs, the subject matter experts. These people are very important, and it's very important to keep them engaged, motivated to make this a success. But again, before I share my interpretation of the situation, just think about to yourself, what are the challenges that you are facing when you're dealing with SMEs, so subject matter experts, those colleagues who are needed to create the sales material, who are needed to create the training. For us, it's the SMEs, they don't see training as their main part of their job. So you're always struggling to pull these people, to motivate them, get them excited about participating, supporting the training material, supporting creating content. And these people are stretched to the limit. It's also not their problem. I mean, their fault. These people are working on so many different topics. Customer meetings, they're doing product development, all very important topics. And now you're coming to them and say they need to create a training. It's a challenge. So what was our solution for the situation? We made the sales kickoff a very strong, compelling event. Creating buzz around it, getting people excited, this event is coming, that they knew that they were playing a part in a big picture. This big event is coming, they have a role in it. Getting the executive buy-in. So our CEO, she was completely behind this. This was one of her events, one of her biggest events of the year. And this person also helped to get that big picture going. The power of simplicity. So again, these people, these sales, the subject matter experts, they're stretched to the limit. So if they come in, they're asked to support this, they need to be able to do so in the most easiest way. So giving them guidance that's as simple as possible. And I'm going to show a couple examples of this later. Then nominating coordinators. Yes?
Aren't you dealing with subject matter experts that are actually not so good in teaching? Because what I also see a lot is that a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge, but they somehow don't really know how to communicate in a compelling way for salespeople. Like salespeople have a very thin string of attention, so to speak. So
exactly. So if those who didn't hear in the background, you're also dealing with these colleagues, they have so much knowledge in their heads.
Yeah.
So trying to, take that out and bring it to the sales organization.
Yeah.
And also, they're coming a lot of times with this product knowledge, very deep technical knowledge.
Yeah.
So passing that on from a sales perspective. And that's why we usually work with the sales, marketing, and product team, and enablement. So a whole team to bring that content, to the training, to the paper. Yeah. And using clear, consistent, open communication. So there was a lot of communication involved to keep this team motivated, pumped up, to keep them, supporting this topic, making sure that they understood the deadlines that were coming and how important a role they were playing in this. Here you'll see a screenshot of our sales enablement automation platform. So again, the 100%. So we had the learnings on demand, that was 100%. And we also supported with sales plays. So those of you not familiar with sales plays, they follow a simple but powerful formula, which is what to know, say, show, and do. So that means you're putting your sales colleagues through all these different training courses, and each training course is supported with a sales play. So you're bundling all that knowledge together, making it as easy as possible for them to access. Those are our different portfolio lines at the bottom, the 5, and they all followed the same format. So going through those topics again, creating the event buzz. So how did we create event buzz? We had our CEO, so she did regular all-hands calls with the whole entire grid software team, so the 2,400 strong team with a clear purpose. So she mentioned, of course, in this call that we're going to have our sales kickoff, so making sure that that's on the top of the agenda. We sent internal communication, so social media. We also invited then the whole team, the 50-plus team that was involved in preparing this event. And to this event, we invited our CEO again and the VP of Sales. So the VP of Sales come in. He is a great seller. He sold the event, of course, the greatest event coming up, everybody. The CEO is on the call as well, completely supporting it. And that was essential to get the resources because, again, you're fighting with these SMEs, the people who are seeing other areas of their priorities. So you need to bring all these people together on the same boat so you can make this event a success. Simplicity. So again, making it as simple as possible for these people to come in. They have a lot of knowledge in their minds. They don't create trainings all the time. Once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year. So putting together guidance, making it simple for them to create the training and also for it to be uploaded. Here's just an example of what it could look like. Again, for us from the enablement sphere, this is common sense. So, creating training objectives, the content page towards the beginning, content how it's presented, customer typical personas. All this stuff is common sense to us. But you're basically handing this to somebody who's not their main job, so they can easily follow through this checklist. And you have the supporting organization, marketing, product, sales, enablement. We work together as a team to make this a success. And we showed a best practice example. So we really wanted to focus on personas. So we saw that was an area where we could be more impactful, making the sales really understand who are the personas in the accounts and what are the challenges they're facing. And so that's what we showed as a best practice example, and we pushed them to create such training. Coordinators, if you're trying to coordinate 50 plus people, you're not going to have the time to do that. So we clearly set up different teams, so small tiger teams, so to say. And each team then was responsible for delivering the content on time. We also clearly communicated the timeline to make sure that they know that there's an agency sitting there and they need the content by this time. If they don't get it, we're going to be wasting costs. We need to prepare it on time for the event, so there's clear timelines showing that if they don't deliver this content by this time, we're going to have some serious issues. So broadcasting the results, communicating regularly, and we communicated to the sales leadership, to the product leadership, to show that it was very essential that all these other colleagues fulfilled what they had promised to do. So using the learning management system, the LMS, using it as a motivational tool, which is what we did. But before we go into exactly how we were using it, I'm interested in knowing again from you. So how many of you are using your LMS, so your learning management system, like Asaba, to host, track, and monitor learning resources? Hands up. All right. Automatic delivery of course completion certificates. Same group of people, so we're at 20%. Performance measurement. No, it's dropped down to 5%. Or maybe other ways you're using it. So for this project here, we used it especially to get that engagement up. So really get the team pumped up and excited about participating and following through with the training. As you're hearing the speakers up here, we're talking already about the carrot and the stick. So here now visually for you, you can use the carrot approach, so you can give badges and certificates upon completion. We had our VPs of sales sign the certificates, so giving them to run after this award. And I think sales, they like to not just run after money, as was said earlier, they like to run after awards and recognition. So that's a great way to get people motivated. You can also unlock learning paths. So if they've completed certain training courses, you can unlock other training courses, and they can follow through on those ones. Or the stick. So I didn't want to make it so mean there. So there's the stick playing the drums. You can use it for the wall of fame and the wall of shame. We didn't do that. We didn't go that far. We used that wall of shame, wall of fame a little bit more with the content producers, or those people who are producing the content. We clearly showed who was delivering on time and who was not. But for the sellers, we did not do that. What we did do was use data to send reminders and alerts. So we kept reminding the people. As I said, we didn't hit the 3-week mark, but about 4, 5, 6 weeks after that, we reached the 100% by constantly reminding the sales that they needed to complete their training. And you, of course, let them share those certificates on LinkedIn. As mentioned, a short case study here on sales enablement automation. We used our SEA platform for adding the training, also adding the content, so having it all into one platform. We also then linked to our LMS, so that's where we got the real detailed, has a person completing a training, have they also done the quiz? So we had to jump out of our sales enablement automation platform, but you could do it with many of them all in one. The sales plays, as I said, what to know, say, show, and do. And the SEA use of the scorecards, so the analytics. So we're also tracking who is using the content, accessing the sales plays, and using that content, and in the end, pitching it to their customers. And what was very important, so continuously demoing the platform, offering on-demand training, so explaining to the people how to use it and being very focused. For example, we wanted them to use it to pitch, to send out content to their customers. And so we did enablement sessions dedicated to exactly that. And we saw what makes it successful. I've seen many businesses within Siemens who have not been so successful with their sales enablement automation platform because they're focusing too much on the tool itself. What we did is we focused more on the process, more of the benefits, what you can get out of the tool. And there we had, for example, recently, the #1 visited content item in the SEA platform was from our business. So getting connected, coming towards an end here, I get excited about all these different platforms, the tech stack. So we have the sales enablement automation platform connected with the LMS, connected with the CRM. So now we're starting to do campaigns where we have them send out the information through the SEA. We relate it to the opportunity and the contacts in the CRM. Provides great insight. And I think if you really want to take it to the next level and be successful, it's about connecting these different platforms together and bringing the tech stack together. And finally, interested in your use or planned use of SEA. So do you have a sales enablement automation platform? Hands up. No hands down, so not that many. And if you're thinking of investing, there's some vendors out there. You can wave to them and get in contact. I'm sure they'd love to speak with you. I can definitely recommend it if you want to be best in class and you need to work the best in class vendors and providers. We're going to help you take you to that next level. And finally, at Siemens, we always talk about a growth mindset. If you want to grow your business, you need to grow your mind. And we're constantly talking about developing our sales, making them learn so that they can be successful in what they do. That's it from my side.
All right, I think we know the drill. Questions?
His hands are up first here. Yes.
So I'm intrigued, how did you manage to persuade your management to spend money on a face-to-face meeting when they've got so used to spending nothing on or very little on a virtual training?
A very, very good question. So it's all about us convincing the management, first of all, that we're in a transition. So it's essential that we bring all the different parties together to make it that it's a very cohesive team. And also if you look at the handover between the teams, so it could be starting with marketing, with lead generation, going to sales, going to bid management, going to the operations side, who's making sure that the service and delivery has been done. So for us to be successful, we need that to be a very solid team, the baton being handed off to each one, that no customer is falling in between the cracks.
Can I just have an extra question on top of that? But you're bringing them back twice. I mean, you're bringing them there for 2 days, they're going away for 3 weeks, and then you're bringing them back again?
Virtually.
Virtually, I missed that one as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that was all the virtual setup.
Yeah.
The next event on site, of course, would be 2, 3, 4 days in one location.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think there was a hand over here.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for the presentation, very insightful. I was wondering if you can tell a bit more about what, if any, was the role of the direct sales leads in this whole 3-week process.
At the last part I didn't catch, so the sales leads.
Your SKO took 4, 5, 6 weeks, you said, to hit 100%.
Mm-hmm.
What was the role of the direct sales management, direct sales leads, so necessarily people managers who are managing the sales guys, into this whole process of making it a success, if any?
Yeah, they kick the guys in the butt. So, giving them statistics, so we provide the analytics, say, this is what we agreed upon as a, sales leadership team, sales enablement, product team. They're not, reaching those numbers, they're not doing the training. Here's the statistics, here's your team. Can you please ask them to follow through?
And did you set any expectations for this particular role as an outcome of the event? Did the managers need to do anything as their learning journey?
Yes, of course. I was also, if I'm a manager telling my sales team to do these trainings, then you should, do the training courses yourself. So we had a very high expectation of the management team, also with the video pitches. Our CEO, VP of sales, they got on the stage virtually, they did the pitch as a skit, then every single sales leader did that same video pitch. So I think that will help to make it a success.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.